back to my channel. Today we got my husband Bryce back for another couples cringe. And today we're going to do a deep dive into Booktok. If you don't know what Booktok is, it's a community on TikTok of a bunch of people that love to read. And it started off as a wholesome, cute community of people that just share an interest for loving books. But then it got horny. So today we're going to dive deep into Booktok. I'm dressed like an illiterate milkmaid. He's dressed like a sexy vampire that imprinted on you. Let's go! As always, we are not making fun of these people. I have the sense of humor of a 6th grade boy, and I think this stuff is silly and funny. Okay, Booktok is like the most wholesome community ever. Please do not send hate or take this as hate in any type of way. I just want to get horny with you guys.
Okay.
So a very common thing on Booktok is, of course, book recommendation. And let me just show you. Book recommendations based on kinks, squirting, brutal conquest, glitch and titan, humiliation, ladies' night, the mob boss's pet, reckless air, and then gun and knife play, primal urges, the mask, sabotage. How do you write a whole book? An adult Harry Potter length featured book on squirting.
Yeah.
How?
Just imagine you're on like a first date with a guy. He's just like,
This is kind of embarrassing, but I'm actually working on a book right now. It's called She Squirteth Nigh, and it's just 200 pages about squirting.
Yeah, I love the gun and knife play ones because it's like every bitch that loves this kink or this whole trope, they always look like a librarian Disney adult. But then you look at their taste in men and it's like these guys that look illiterate and they have face tattoos.
it's like the same chicks that have to like hype themselves up if they want to call the pizza place to make an order. They're like,
But I would just love it if a guy put a loaded Glock in my mouth while we were banging.
Book recs based on kinks. Spitting, captured, the mask, will see you now. 2, femdom, ladies' night, preferential treatment, femdom tales. 3, stretching, will see you now, makes its second appearance. Tyrant and trained.
listen,
Ooh.
I've never heard the term stretching.
I don't want to know what that is. Also, you know what I just thought about? Is like, you know how some of these smut novels like Twilight or 50 Shades of Grey become like a really popular like movie adaptation? Imagine if one of these became the next one.
Yeah.
And it's just like a whole trilogy about squirting and knife playing. Just imagine like, James Cameron, like he's a director, he goes on GQ to like talk about like the analysis frame by frame of how they got the squirt monster to come to life,
Yeah, you got Denis Villeneuve in like an all-white room analyzing like a minotaur squirting on a girl, and he's just like, yeah, so for this scene right here, I had to make sure that the squirt would bounce off of her cheekbones as is described in the novel.
Visual effects, like VFX reacts, how they made the perfect ball.
That actually that looks like it's CGI. That's real.
Dark romance must reads. So it looks like for all these, she rated them in 2 different ways. One for spicy level and one for just if it's a good book or not. And then she lists all of like the kinks that are in these books, okay? So this one we have compel, 4 stars, 3.5 spicy, stalking, dubcon, plot twist. We got sabotage.
Oh my god,
this is another
whoa.
one.
This one has 5 stars and 5 spices.
And it's a novella about step siblings and humiliation.
If the other one with the consent was only 3.5 spices, and this one's 5 spices, and all it has is step siblings, I don't want to know what the else is going on in this one.
Dreams of the deadly. 4.5 stars, 3.5 spices, and it's about mafias, age gaps, and possessive hero. Yeah, I just love how this one is just like, oh, it's only like 3.5 peppers out of 5, you know? If only there was more of an age gap here. If only we had some squirting in this book, it'd be 5 out of 5. You know what's really funny to me about this is that like every single one of these book recs on Booktok, it's like they always go by kinks. What if they implemented this in like the Dewey Decimal System so that the girlies that actually read books can like have an easier time like searching for what book they want? Because like, you know, the Dewey Decimal System, they're like, oh yeah, nonfiction, fiction, history, whatever. There needs to be like the last 3 letters is just like what kink it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True. SQR, squirt.
Peppa Pig is just like fiction, children, and then the last like 20 like letters are just code. Age play, animal play, race play, age gap, squirting. I don't know.
He loves you, but unhinged edition. He loves you, but is he going to kill your boss that tried to kidnap you? He loves you, but is he going to gut and hang an orc by his intestine that tried to sneak into your bedroom? He loves you, but is he going to fight his natural urge to kill you anytime you're near him? Simple question. He loves you, but is he going to tear your abusive ex limb from limb right in front of you?
Well, you heard it here first, guys. If your man will not hang an orc by its intestines for your hand in marriage, you need to dump his today. I would love to see these women's dating profiles of like what they want in a man. Cause you know that song on TikTok right now where she's just like,
I'm looking for a man in finance, the trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes, finance.
but for these bitches, they're always gonna be like, I'm looking for an orc in Narnia, race play, squirting, furry. The funniest part to me is that these women will literally like be reading this shit at their kids' soccer practice, and then you look at the cover of their books and it's about like how their stepdad and their stepbrother peed on them at a hockey rink or some shit. And then they use it to Zamboni the ice after. Like,
Stepbrother, stepdad, hockey rink, Zamboni, 4 peppers out of 5.
I need like a mafia boss that puts the bone in Zamboni.
Damn.
Are you enjoying getting horny with me and my husband? Well, if you are, make sure to like and subscribe this video. Thank you. Okay, so another common type of content I see on Booktok are what I like to call like these short stories, essentially. And it's pretty much like a short fanfic, I guess. But it's about a plot of these smut novels, and I guess it's to get you guys in the mood to read these smut novels. I'm just gonna show you.
She wakes up in the middle of the night in cold dungeon and realizes she started her blood emoji. Tentacle monster asks what's wrong, and when she finally tells him, he orders her to sit on his face so he can relieve her pain. Is that the end of it? And then it just ends.
The author of this book, like she saw handsome Squidward one time and she's just like, okay, hear me out. Hear me out. These bitches are gonna have the craziest hear me outs. Hear me out, hear me out. But the sandworm from Dune, imagine if he like sat on your face.
Dude, hear me out. Mike Wazowski, but there's an age gap and he puts a gun in your mouth.
If these girlies are not already DMing a D&D campaign, they need to be. Because
Yeah.
I just know that like their D&D is gonna be wild. She's just like, okay, Emily, you're an illiterate milkmaid. Brian, you're an orc that looks like Mike Wazowski.
Sarah, you said you squirted on his face. Can I get a dexterity roll for your squirt velocity?
On this roll, we'll figure out if you're a mafia boss or if you're an elf that's about to get gutted.
All right, he puts a gun in your mouth. Roll to see if it goes off.
Oh my God, you're getting them wet.
POV, you're running from your abusive husband. So you hook up with a carnivorous tree.
Yup. And we have a little screenshot of the book. It's called The Morning Wood Tree.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, okay, I get it, all right? Like the carnivorous tree, like you're into it because, you know, it has long, hard wood and it's carnivorous. So it's really good at eating out like pink human meat, you know?
No, I don't know. You guys like the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter? Don't answer that.
You know how like, there's like that whole prompt on TikTok where women are like, oh, I would rather be alone with a bear in a forest rather than my ex? How far down from the bear do you have to get to the carnivorous tree?
Would you rather hook up with your ex or hook up with a carnivorous tree?
And she's just like, probably the carnivorous tree, because at least he has like morning wood.
Would you rather be in a forest with a man or a bear? And she's like,
Car dealership inflatable who's got an age gap and has a gun.
I want you to have my babies, human. You're ready for breeding. I can tell by your scent. Are you going to let me spill my precious seeds inside you and get you pregnant? You ran away, but his servants are blocking the way. He catches you and says, you're my captive. You grab his small tail. See how you like being held hostage. He groans loudly. Roar! That's not my tail, woman. Cool.
That's the small diss that she calls his wiener a small tail.
Hey, well that might be her kink, dude.
Maybe.
If they can like trees, they can like small wieners.
This seems like the unofficial pirated version of Beauty and the Beast. This is like the version of Beauty and the Beast that your immigrant uncle got for you. It's like dubbed in Chinese, but it has like Russian subtitles, you know? You know, here's my comment about this, is that even though it's a lot more tame than the other ones, like the whole impregnated thing is just, it's not giving, okay? Like, why can't women just like hook up with the Beast Minotaur Zamboni and then just dip the next day?
True.
Why do we have to play mommy? Because like, then the fantasy ends when you and your half Minotaur baby have to watch Miss Rachel, the trap house alphabet songs, M, Minotaur. That's on their iPads.
When the hottest professor on campus shows up to the same frat party as you, the next morning you wake up in a strange bed. He walks in and says, you should have been more careful around those frat boys. You can't believe your eyes. What do you mean? What happened? They drugged you. He undoes his cufflinks. There are tattoos on his forearms and cuts on his knuckles. Holy shit, and he's old. What did you do? You gulp. I taught them a lesson. His shirt comes off. Now it's your turn. Wow. I feel like that's not the way you should treat someone that got drugged.
I don't know if these girls went to a different school than I did or something, but like, in my experience, every professor has been like, not attractive, low-key kind of racist.
Yeah.
But you know, actually though, I feel like these girlies would like be okay with that. They'd be chill. They would find a way to kinky it up.
Here's what it would really be like with like a modern professor, okay? Daddy noticed that you didn't respond to at least 2 other students' discussion posts on our online web portal.
It's your field trip, not mine.
Somebody didn't return their Chromebook to the charger. You know Daddy doesn't like that.
1, 2, 3, eyes on me. We're doing school training.
You know that the bell doesn't dismiss you? I do.
Oh my god, that one was so icky. I think that's it. I'm good. I think they could beat that one. You win that round. Now we have another type of content that I see all the time on Booktok, which is the POVs. These are like the thirst traps that these men do. And the whole point is that they're trying to be like, you know, the boyfriend that you read about in the smut novels.
Is this your first time?
Yeah. Babe, you're hurting me. What's your problem?
I'm addicted.
What's so special about my blood?
Oh, it got me twisted. Are Gen Z girls getting to the age where they like vampire now?
I guess so.
Their millennial moms liked vampires. Now they like vampires.
Now that I'm 18, I don't know what it is inside me, but I really like pale e-boys that look like vampires on TikTok. And the parents are like, honey, we've been waiting your whole life to tell you this. But now you're at the age where you're gonna fetishize vampire men. Okay, so then we have this guy named Tyler James. Yeah, so his whole thing is that he's your like smut novel boyfriend, and he like just lip syncs to a bunch of like smutty audios on TikTok.
I don't give a f how handsome they are or what type of accent they have. You're mine, and no one touches what's mine.
When I tell you to sit down and shut the f up, it's not because I expect obedience out of you. It's because I know it'll turn you on.
You're an asshole.
I'm an asshole, yet you're dripping all over my hand. What does that say about you?
You know, I feel like I'm not really fully immersed.
Yeah.
I feel like now that we spent like an hour talking about orcs and elves and zambonis and shit, like, it's not doing it for me.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to like use the age filter so that we can tell that there's an age gap, or like have like a Nerf gun in his hand, you know? Yeah, he needs to have like the Minotaur like horns. He needs to like have a Zamboni like logo on his shirt, you know?
Or like he's just fully off screen and it's just like a picture of a tree.
I'm an asshole, yet you're dripping all over my hand.
The next part that I want to show you is that these women not only enjoy reading these books and watching these POVs, but then they wanted to go a step further and like recreate these smut novel scenes with their boyfriends/husbands. And that's what we're gonna watch next.
Your free arm has to... This is your mission, if you choose to accept it.
I'm itchy.
I feel like we walked in on them.
I feel like you're gonna hurt me. You have to do it with your other arm too. You have to grab my armpit.
Not very much.
You have to hold me there.
And then you have to.
What was that? Hey, wait a minute.
That's a supportive friend right there.
At first I was thinking like, why are they forcing their friend to record this? But by the end of the video I was like, why is their friend forcing them to do this while he records?
Yeah.
Car crash kink? Do you guys have a kink for getting into a car accident?
I love how like in this one it's trying to be realistic because she's the one who's driving, you know?
Yeah.
If you're like into like the bad boy that like just got away from murder, like he has a DUI, he can't drive, so now you have to drive him to work at Applebee's.
POV, you pick up your bad boy boyfriend who can't hold a job down from his mom's house. Hey princess, take me over to my friend Tommy's house. I need to pick up some weed. Hey princess, I need you to blow into this so that the car will start.
Going for blood today, are we, Violence?
My name is Violet.
I think my version fits you better.
This is the straightest thing I have ever seen. They have outstraighted every straight couple ever. Dude, if this is the type of they're putting on TikTok, where there's a lot of censorship.
Yeah.
Imagine the type of that they're doing behind closed doors. Like I know that they're recreating this, but then he's just dressed up in like a whole tree carnivorous orc costume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like really throwing her around. He's got realistic tentacles everywhere. You know? Henry the octopus from the Wiggles.
We're experienced TikTokers, dude. We can outdo these motherfuckers easily.
Let's do it.
Never in my 30 years of teaching have I had a substitute leave a note this bad.
I'm 18 and I'm on my period.
I put the bone in Zamboni.
Is that the gun? Alright, thank you guys so much for getting horny with me and my husband here.
Okay.
Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.